till we rescue every cast.
Hello and welcome to Switch Mania. It's your boy Clarence back at it again for a new episode. If you're a Nintendo Switch fan, you know how expensive games can get. That's why we're here to bring you some great news. The Nintendo Switch eShop is having a huge sale, and we've got a list of 30 amazing games you can get for a fraction of the price. From action-packed adventures to immersive RPGs, we've got something for everyone. So sit tight and get ready to save big with these 30 must-buy Nintendo Switch eShop games on sale. But before we start, don't forget to hit that like button and leave a comment on which game caught your eye the most. And if you're new to this channel, make sure to subscribe and hit that notification bell so you never miss out on our latest Nintendo Switch content. So without further ado, let's dive in. Castlevania Anniversary Collection is a tribute to the classic horror-themed action platformer franchise that has been around since the 1980s. The collection contains 8 classic Castlevania games from the NES, Game Boy, and Super NES, all remastered and optimized for modern consoles. The gameplay is centered around exploring Dracula's castle, defeating hordes of monsters and bosses, and uncovering the secrets of the Belmont family. Each game in the collection has its own unique level design, enemies, and music, making for a varied and exciting gameplay experience. One of the best things about this collection is the addition of save states, which allows players to save their progress at any time and pick up right where they left off. This feature is especially useful for the more challenging games in the collection. Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles The Cowabunga Collection is a nostalgic trip down memory lane for fans of the classic 80s cartoon and arcade-style beat-em-up games. The collection contains 7 classic games, including the original arcade game, all remastered and optimized for modern consoles. The gameplay is centered around playing as one of the 4 Ninja Turtles, each with their own unique abilities as they fight their way through hordes of enemies, bosses, and challenging levels. Each game in the collection has its own unique story and level design, making for a varied and exciting gameplay experience. One of the best things about this collection is its multiplayer mode, which allows up to 4 players to team up and take on the game's challenging levels together. This makes the game perfect for couch co-op play or for online multiplayer. Next up is another Castlevania collection. Castlevania Advance Collection brings together 4 classic Castlevania games from the Game Boy Advance era, remastered and optimized for Nintendo Switch. The games included in the collection are Circle of the Moon, Harmony of Dissonance, Aria of Sorrow, and Dracula X. Each game in the collection follows the classic Castlevania formula of exploring a gothic castle filled with monsters and bosses, collecting power-ups, and leveling up your character. What sets these games apart from other Castlevania titles is their emphasis on RPG elements, such as character customization and skill trees. One of the standout features of this collection is its boss rush mode, which allows players to challenge all of the game's bosses in succession for a chance to earn rewards and achievements. These modes add an extra layer of challenge and replayability to the games. Dandy Dungeon Legend of Brave Yamada is a quirky and charming RPG with a unique twist on the genre. You will take on the role of Yamada, a programmer who dreams of creating the ultimate video game while also trying to win over the heart of his crush. The game's dungeons are procedurally generated and have a retro aesthetic, reminiscent of classic RPG like Dragon Quest. The gameplay itself is a mix of puzzle and dungeon crawling elements, where players must navigate through a dungeon, defeat enemies, and collect treasure, all while dodging traps and obstacles. What sets this game apart from other RPGs is its humor and storytelling. The game features a witty script and charming characters, with plenty of references to video game culture and programming. The game also breaks the fourth wall, with Yamada interacting with the player and even hacking the game's code to change the outcome of certain events. Mon Amour is a narrative-driven visual novel that follows the story of a young woman named Lysandra who finds herself caught up in a mysterious and dangerous world of politics, intrigue, and romance. The game's story is told through a series of branching paths and multiple endings, each of which is influenced by the player's choices throughout the game. Players must navigate Lysandra's relationships with various characters, including a charming nobleman, a loyal servant, and a mysterious and powerful figure known only as the Master. One of the standout features of Mon Amour Gunner is its writing, which is both well-crafted and emotionally resonant. The game's dialogue is witty and sharp, with clever references and nods to classic literature and romance novels. The characters are well-developed and nuanced, with their own motivations, desires, and flaws that make them feel like real people. Blackbird is a shoot-'em-up game with a unique premise and gameplay mechanics. Players take control of a powerful witch who has the ability to summon and command an army of magical creatures to fight for her. The game's story follows the witch as she sets out on a quest to find a legendary artifact known as the Blackbird. Along the way, she must battle against powerful bosses, navigate treacherous environments, and use her magical powers to overcome obstacles. In terms of gameplay, Blackbird offers a unique twist on the shoot-'em-up genre. Instead of controlling a spaceship or aircraft, players control the witch and her army of magical creatures, each with their own unique abilities and attacks. Players must strategically deploy their creatures to defeat enemies and avoid obstacles, making for a challenging and rewarding gameplay experience. GoNNER is an action-packed platformer game that offers a unique and challenging experience for players. The game's visual style is dark and moody, with minimalist graphics that emphasize the fast-paced gameplay. Players control a little creature named Ik, who must navigate through a series of challenging levels filled with enemies, traps, and obstacles. The game's controls are simple and intuitive, with players able to jump, shoot, and dash their way through the levels. One of the standout features of GoNNER is its difficulty. The game is challenging but never unfair, and requires players to use strategy and quick reflexes to survive. The levels are procedurally generated, which means the players will never play the same level twice, keeping the game fresh and exciting. If you like the first game, you'll definitely love this sequel. GoNNER 2 is the sequel to the popular platformer game GoNNER and offers a similar gameplay experience while adding new features and improvements. Like its predecessor, GoNNER 2 is a fast-paced platformer with procedurally generated levels that offer a unique challenge every time you play. One of the new features in GoNNER 2 is the addition of new power-ups and weapons. Players can now collect power-ups that offer new abilities such as double jumping or invincibility, and can equip a variety of weapons that range from standard guns to explosive projectiles. Dungeons of Dreadrock is a retro-style dungeon-crawling game that offers a challenging and immersive gameplay experience. Players take on the role of a hero who must explore a series of dangerous dungeons in search of treasure and glory. The game features procedurally generated levels that offer a unique challenge every time you play, with each dungeon being filled with traps, puzzles, and enemies that must be overcome. The game's combat system is simple yet satisfying, with players being able to use a variety of weapons and spells to defeat their foes. In addition to its challenging gameplay and retro-inspired visuals, Dungeons of Dreadrock also features a compelling story that unfolds as players progress through the game. The game's narrative is well written and engaging, offering plenty of surprises and twists that will keep players hooked until the very end.
Declared it cursed ground.
Ys VIII Lacrimosa of Dana is a thrilling action RPG that combines fast-paced combat with an engaging storyline and stunning visuals. Players take on the role of Adol Kristen, a seasoned adventurer who finds himself stranded on a mysterious island called Serene after a shipwreck. The gameplay in Ys VIII revolves around exploration, combat, and resource management. Players must explore the island, gather resources, and build a base camp in order to survive. The combat system is fast-paced and exciting, with players being able to switch between multiple characters and use a variety of skills and abilities to defeat their enemies. Speaking of the story, Ys VIII has a deep and engaging narrative that unfolds over the course of the game. The story is filled with intriguing characters, unexpected twists, and moments of heartbreak and triumph that will keep players invested in the game from beginning to end. Monster Hunter Generations Ultimate is an action-packed RPG that offers a thrilling adventure to players. The game features a wide variety of monsters, each with its own unique strengths and weaknesses that players must hunt down and defeat. The gameplay in this game is all about strategy and preparation. Players must choose the right equipment, weapons, and tactics to take on each monster they encounter. The game also features a variety of quests and challenges that players can take on to earn rewards and improve their character. One of the most exciting aspects of this game is the multiplayer mode. Players can team up with friends and take on monsters together, adding an extra layer of excitement and strategy to the game. LEGO Star Wars The Skywalker Saga is an action-adventure game that is fun-filled journey through the entire Star Wars saga. The game features characters and locations from all 9 main Star Wars films, including The Rise of Skywalker. Players will take control of their favorite Star Wars characters, including Luke Skywalker, Darth Vader, and Rey, as they explore iconic locations like Tatooine, Hoth, and Endor. The game features both ground-based and space-based gameplay, with epic battles and thrilling chase sequences. One of the most exciting features of this game is the ability to choose your own path through the game. Players can start their adventure with any of the 9 main films, and then continue on to any of the others in order they choose. This makes for a truly unique and customizable experience.
Be the last Jedi. Time for you to become...
Faeria is a unique combination of a card game and a strategy game set in a beautiful fantasy world. The game features a rich tactical gameplay with elements of exploration and building. Players build deck of cards representing creatures, spells, and other magical items and use them to conquer territories in a hexagonal game board. Each turn, players can either play cards, draw new ones, or move their characters across the board. The goal is to capture all of the opponent's territories or reduce their life points to 0. What sets this game apart is the game's strategic depth and the tactical choices players must make. The board is constantly changing and players must adapt their strategies based on the terrain, obstacles, and opponents they face. The game also features a solo campaign mode as well as online multiplayer modes where players can compete against others from around the world.
Are you up to the challenge?
Thought I'd never see you again.
Monster Hunter Stories 2 Wings of Ruin is an epic adventure that takes players on a journey to uncover the mysteries of Rathalos and its connection to the fate of the world. The game is set in a vibrant and expansive world filled with dangerous monsters and wondrous creatures. Players take on the role of a young monster rider who embarks on a journey to find out the truth behind the legend of the Wings of Ruin. Along the way, they'll encounter a cast of memorable characters, form bonds with their own monsters, and engage in epic turn-based battles against powerful foes. One of the standout features of Monster Hunter Stories 2 is the game's robust and intuitive combat system. Players can collect and hatch eggs to raise their own monsters, which they can ride into battle. Each monster has unique abilities and attributes, and players can use these to their advantage in battles. The game also features a deep and rewarding crafting system, allowing players to create powerful weapons and armor to aid them on their journey. Monster Hunter Rise is an action-packed adventure game that takes players on a journey to a fantastical world filled with dangerous monsters and exciting quests. The game is set in Kamura Village, a serene and peaceful land that's threatened by a sinister force known as the Rampage. Players take on the role of a skilled hunter, tasked with protecting the village and its inhabitants from the Rampage. They'll embark on a thrilling quest to hunt down powerful monsters, gather resources, and unlock new skills and abilities. One of the standout features of this game is the game's exhilarating combat system. Players can choose from a wide range of weapons, each with its own unique strengths and weaknesses. They'll need to learn how to use their chosen weapon effectively to take down monsters, dodge attacks, and unleash devastating combos. Fatal Frame Mask of the Lunar Eclipse is a chilling horror game that takes place on Rogetsu Island, a remote location shrouded in mystery and plagued by supernatural occurrences. Players take on the role of Ruka, a young woman searching for her missing brother on the island, who must use an antique camera to fend off ghosts and uncover the truth behind the island's dark history. One of the standout features of the game is its use of the camera as a weapon. As Ruka explores the island and encounters ghosts, she can use her camera to capture their images, weakening them and dealing damage. The game also features a unique upgrade system for the camera, allowing players to enhance its abilities and unlock new techniques. The atmosphere and storytelling in this game are also top-notch. The game's unsettling visuals and haunting music create a sense of dread and tension that keeps players on the edge. The story is also engaging, with plenty of twists and turns as Ruka uncovers the dark secrets of the island and the tragic fates of its inhabitants. Romance of the Three Kingdoms 14 is a strategy game that puts players in charge of a kingdom during the tumultuous periods of China's Three Kingdoms era. The game features a turn-based gameplay system that focuses on diplomacy, strategy, and conquest. One of the best things about the game is its attention to detail in recreating the historical period. The game includes over 1,000 officers to choose from, each with their own unique personalities and abilities. The game also features an intricate political system that allows players to form alliances and negotiate with other kingdoms. The gameplay is challenging, requiring players to manage resources, build armies, and strategically plan attacks on enemy kingdoms. The addition of the diplomacy and strategy expansion pack adds even more depth to the game with new scenarios and gameplay mechanics. Dynasty Warriors 8 Extreme Legends Definitive Edition is an action-packed hack-and-slash game that immerses players in the Three Kingdoms era of China. The game features a vast array of playable characters, each with their own unique moves and abilities. The Definitive Edition also includes all of the DLC released for the game, adding even more content and depth to an already impressive game. The gameplay is fast-paced and exciting, with players taking on hordes of enemies and powerful bosses. The game features a unique combat system that rewards players for stringing together combos and executing special moves. The addition of the Extreme Legends expansion adds even more gameplay mechanics, including new storylines, weapons, and characters. The graphics are impressive, with beautifully rendered environments and stunning character designs. The game also includes a variety of game modes, including story mode, free mode, and challenge mode, ensuring that players will have plenty of content to keep them engaged for hours. Warriors Orochi 4 Ultimate is an action-packed hack-and-slash game developed by Koei Tecmo. This game combines characters from the Dynasty Warriors and Samurai Warriors series in an epic story where they must team up to fight against the powerful Greek gods. The gameplay is fast-paced and intense, with a variety of weapons, special attacks, and magic spells to use against your enemies. You can play as over 170 different characters, each with their own unique abilities and movesets. The game also features an online multiplayer mode, allowing you to team up with other players and take on challenging missions together. Overall, Warriors Orochi 4 Ultimate is a must-play for fans of the hack-and-slash genre. With its fast-paced gameplay, diverse cast of characters, and epic story, it's sure to keep you engaged for hours on end.
If you need anything, just let me know.
Atelier Shallie, Alchemists of the Dusk CDX is a beautiful, engaging role-playing game developed by Gust Company Limited. The game tells the story of two young alchemists, Shallie and Charlotte, as they explore the mysterious Dusk Sea and uncover the secrets of their world. The game's key mechanics revolve around alchemy and crafting. Players will need to gather resources and use their alchemy skills to create new items and weapons that they can use in battle. The game also features a complex skill tree system that allows players to customize their characters and create unique builds. What sets this game apart from other RPGs is its focus on character development and storytelling. The game features a rich cast of characters, each with their unique personalities and backstories. As you progress through the game, you'll get to know these characters and develop deep relationships with them, making every victory and defeat all the more meaningful. Samurai Warriors 5 brings the iconic hack-and-slash action of the long-running series to a new generation. Set in feudal Japan during the Sengoku period, players take control of a variety of legendary samurai and warriors as they engage in epic battles across the country. One of the standout features of this game is the extensive character customization options. Players can customize the appearance and abilities of their chosen warrior, making them a truly unique force on the battlefield. With a wealth of content including multiple story campaigns, co-op, and competitive multiplayer modes, and endless replayability, Samurai Warriors 5 is a must-play for fans of action games and Japanese history alike.
是非に及ばず
皆さんと一緒に夢を
Nelke and the legendary Alchemist Ateliers of the New World is a unique spin-off in the Atelier series, combining elements of city-building simulation and RPG gameplay. The player takes on the role of Nelke von Glastam, a young noblewoman tasked with developing a frontier town and attracting legendary alchemists to help her in her endeavors. The game features a vast roster of characters from across the Atelier series, each with their unique personalities and abilities. The player must manage resources, construct buildings, and engage in diplomacy with neighboring neighboring towns to attract the best and brightest alchemists to their cause. The game's charming art style and relaxing soundtrack make for a delightful and immersive experience, while the strategic elements of city building and RPG combat provide plenty of depth and challenge. Fans of the Atelier series will find plenty to enjoy in this game, while newcomers to the series will appreciate its accessible gameplay and charming world building.
私たちの街になる
Mega Man Zero ZX Legacy Collection is a fantastic compilation of 6 games that offers a lot of content for both longtime fans of the series and newcomers. The games have been remastered and featured improved graphics and sound, making them look and sound better than ever before. The Mega Man Zero series is known for its challenging gameplay, and the Legacy Collection is no exception. The games offer a good balance of action and platforming, and the variety of bosses and power-ups keep the gameplay fresh and engaging. The collection also includes 2 Mega Man ZX games, which add more Metroidvania-style exploration to the mix. The collection also features a number of quality-of-life improvements, such as the ability to switch between different games and save your progress at any time. The addition of the casual scenario mode is also a welcome addition for those who may find the games too difficult. Devil May Cry 3 Special Edition is a remastered version of the original game, which was released in 2005. This action-packed game, developed and published by Capcom, is widely regarded as one of the best hack-and-slash games ever created. The game features a complex and gripping storyline, with players taking on the role of Dante, a half-demon warrior on a quest to stop his evil twin brother from unleashing hell on Earth. The game is filled with intense combat sequences and boss battles, challenging players to master a wide variety of weapons, combos, and moves. The Special Edition introduces the Bloody Palace mode, which is essentially a survival mode where players must defeat waves of enemies in a time limit, and the Virgil mode, which allows players to play as Dante's evil twin brother, Virgil. The Street Fighter 30th Anniversary Collection is a must-have for any fighting game enthusiast. This collection features the most iconic Street Fighter games, including Street Fighter 1, 2, 3, and Alpha, all remastered for modern consoles. Each game includes an extensive history of the series, character bios, concept art, and even a music player to enjoy the memorable soundtrack. The gameplay and mechanics of each game have been preserved, and players can choose between arcade, versus, and online modes to experience the best of the series. The collection's user interface is intuitive, and navigating through the menus and settings is easy. The graphics and sound quality have been updated, giving the games a fresh look and feel without losing their original charm. Resident Evil 4, originally released in 2005, remains a classic in the survival horror genre. The game follows Leon as he travels to a remote village in Spain to rescue the president's daughter, Ashley Graham. The gameplay combines third-person shooting with puzzle solving and tense encounters with a variety of enemies, including cultists and grotesque monsters. One of the standout features of Resident Evil 4 is its over-the-shoulder camera perspective, which allows for more precise aiming and a greater sense of immersion. The game also features a robust upgrade system, which allows players to improve their weapons and equipment throughout the game. The graphics and sound design are still impressive even by modern standards, with detailed environments and chilling audio cues adding to the overall atmosphere. The game's storyline is engaging and filled with twists and turns, making for a memorable and rewarding experience. Mega Man X Legacy Collection is a compilation of Mega Man X series that brings back memories of the classic game. As a fan of the original games, it's exciting to revisit the classic gameplay, level designs, and music. The collection includes all 8 games in the series, and the gameplay mechanics remain as fun and challenging as they were in the past. Mega Man X's abilities to dash, wall jump, and charge his arm cannon are still satisfying to use. The game's progression is well designed, and the levels and bosses are uniquely challenging. Aside from the gameplay, the collection includes new features such as the ability to save mid-level, rewind the game, and switch between the Japanese and English versions. The graphics and soundtracks have also been improved, and the collection includes an extensive museum that details the series' history and artwork. The Great Ace Attorney Chronicles is a 2-game compilation featuring the prequel to the beloved Ace Attorney series. The game takes place in the Meiji period of Japan and the Victorian era of England, following the adventures of Ryunosuke Naruhodo, an ancestor of Phoenix Wright, and his assistant Susato Mikotoba. The games brings new mechanics to the series, such as the dance of deduction and the ability to use the jury system to sway the verdict in your favor. The games are beautifully crafted with amazing music, art, and voice acting that perfectly captures the essence of the time period. The game's story is intriguing and the characters are lovable and memorable. The game's sense of humor is also on point, making for a very enjoyable experience. Fans of the Ace Attorney series will feel right at home with this game, but new players will also find it accessible and enjoyable. The Great Ace Attorney Chronicles is a must-play for fans of visual novels and those looking for a good story with great characters and mechanics. OKAMI HD is a stunning remaster of the original game that was released over a decade ago. It's an action-adventure game that is heavily inspired by Japanese mythology and features a unique art style that is reminiscent of traditional Japanese ink paintings. The game is set in a world where a powerful demon named Orochi has been resurrected, and it's up to the sun goddess Amaterasu to save the land from darkness. Players take control of Amaterasu and wolf form as they explore a vast open world, battle various enemies, solve puzzles, and interact with a diverse cast of characters. The game's controls are intuitive and responsive, and the combat system is engaging and fun. What I really love about this game is the addition of the Celestial Brush, a mechanic that allows players to draw symbols on the screen to create different effects. Adds another layer of complexity to the gameplay. Phoenix Wright Ace Attorney Trilogy is a must-play game for Nintendo Switch owners who love puzzles and crime solving. The game's main mechanic is to collect evidence and use it to defend your clients in court, making it an engaging and satisfying experience. The game features vibrant and colorful graphics that enhances the quirky characters and their personalities. The storyline is captivating and will keep you hooked from beginning to end. The controls are intuitive and easy to master, allowing you to focus on the gameplay and story. One of the best things about Phoenix Wright Ace Attorney Trilogy is the humor. The game doesn't take itself too seriously, and the witty writing and humorous dialogue will make you laugh out loud. The voice acting is also top-notch and adds to the game's overall charm. And that concludes our episode for today. Be sure to check out our other videos for additional gaming content and reviews. Thank you for tuning in, and we'll see you in the next one. And as always, happy gaming. Peace.